Good morning. It is Let It Go and Let It Grow. And this is Thursday already. Where did this week go? It is the 13th of August, almost halfway through the month. Craziness. So what are we letting go of today? And that is the Two of Swords. What are we letting grow today? And that is the Six of Pentacles. The Two of Swords. Swords are about thoughts, communication, decisions, truth, perspective. These are air signs. So it is associated with Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And the Two of Swords is the moon in Libra, and you can see the scales, they're swords, but they also represent the scales in this case. And what are we letting grow today? And that is the Six of Pentacles. The Pentacles is stability, resources, abundance, health, work, and the physical world. This is the moon in Taurus. They are earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn today. So both of these cards today are ruled by the moon. The Two of Swords carries the moon energy in Libra, asking us to examine emotional indecision and the desire to keep everything balanced, where the Six of Pentacles balance through Taurus, bringing the emotional energy down into the physical world through security, generosity, receiving, and support. Today's journey moves from I don't know what to do to I don't have to do everything alone. So letting go today is the moon in Libra. Again, release the need to make the perfect decisions. So this is asking you to take that blindfold off and see everything with clearer eyes and know that some of the best decisions you make are made because you want to do something, not because it's going to be perfect for you in the time. So it's weighing that. Do you want to take that risk? Do you want to try doing it? Do you want to try something new and unbind you versus the having to have the knowledge that this is going to be the perfect decision and the perfect move for you? Let go of avoiding choices because you're afraid of the outcome. Once again, take those tethers off. Fear is the driving force in a lot of people's life, and we really hold ourselves back when fear wins the day. So this is asking you again, take that blindfold off. Do not walk out in the state of fear. Try to soothe that limbic system. Try to know that every time you stretch your nervous system a bit more and succeed with something, your nervous system actually trusts you a little bit more. Release overthinking disguised as wanting for clarity. So once again, the swords are all about that being in your head, that overthinking, that spinning of stories. And as we move through the swords, it can become a difficult journey. But it's one of that battle within, that cutting through the illusions of your own thoughts. So that overthinking and thinking that you're going to overthink yourself to clarity is wrong. All you're going to do is stir up anxieties that you don't need to be feeling. Sometimes the best course of action is making a decision and doing it. I just saw the Fool, that trust fall, and just walking forward with it. Trust yourself enough to choose. So there's the Fool energy right there. Trust yourself enough to choose. Stop second guessing yourself. Stop looking for outward confirmation that everything that you're doing is right. Feedback is one thing, but when you can't make a decision without asking others if it's okay to do so, then you're not really trusting yourself. So take off that blindfold and acknowledge how far you've already come and what you have already done in your life. Not everything was lost. Not everything was a failure. Some of the chances you took on yourself actually became some of the biggest successes in your life. For Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, the Two of Swords can represent the moment when thinking stops creating clarity and begins creating a paralysis for us. Libra especially wants to weigh every side of the coin. As I said, that to me looks like, even though it's Two of Swords, it looks like the scales in a way as well. What if I choose this? How will that person react? Is this fair? What if I'm wrong? But sometimes there isn't a perfect answer. There's simply the answer that feels most aligned with who you're trying to become. So take that blindfold off and walk forward. So we then have the beautiful Six of Pentacles, moon in Taurus, growing your ability to receive. If you're empathetic, sympathetic, and somebody who is hypersensitive and cares a lot, chances are you give a lot. So this is asking you to open your heart to receive as well. I love this card with the infinity symbol there, no beginning and no end. So knowing that if you give, and you open up to that pathway of energy, you're going to receive. So this is asking yourself to come into that state of allowance and trust and really just allow yourself to be in the receiving position, not seeing it as I'm giving because I want to and I don't need anything back. Everything you do in life is an energy exchange. So it's time that you open yourself up to the knowledge that if you're giving of yourself, you can also be open enough to receive from people with gratitude and thanks, rather than feeling sheepish about it. Come from that place of true gratitude and receive. Create healthier balances between giving and receiving. Once again, I use this card a lot when I talk about healing arts, people who do energy work, people who are in the vein of working with others, helping others, because a lot of times we undervalue ourselves and we feel because we have this knowledge and these talents, we should be giving of our energy. But everything comes with an exchange. Even I just saw planting a seed. You can't just plant a seed and leave it. It needs to receive water. It needs to receive food. It needs to receive sunlight. It needs to receive the perfect environment for it to grow. If you just planted the seed and gave it nothing, it would die. So think of yourself as that seed. What do you want to plant for yourself, for your growth of yourself, your business, everything around you? If you're the seed, you need to be nurtured. You need that water. You need that earth. You need that food. So don't be shy to open yourself up to receive and create those healthier boundaries for yourself. And when you open yourself up for generosity, being too generous yourself and giving, there's sometimes that there is the other side of the coin, which is funny. The other side of the coin is that you start building resentment, and you don't want that. You want everything to be in balance. The respect you have of others, knowing that they respect you back. The giving of energy to others, knowing that you can expect to get that back eventually yourself. So invest your time and energy where there is reciprocity, where you know that you're going to get that balance. And, these are hard lessons I've learned over the years doing and working with clients. You tend to get into this martyr role that you do. But, when life stops you, you realize that the biggest project and the best project in life is you. So take that time and know it's not only is it okay, but it is expected universally that you can open yourself up to receiving even your own love, your own compassion for yourself. And remember that asking for help doesn't diminish your strength at all. It's a different strength. It's a different way of saying, hey, I'm hurting a bit. I need Reiki treatment myself, or I need, I haven't had a reflexology treatment since 2022, I think, since I actually got my reflexology license. Well, that was 2021, actually, because I don't know a whole lot of people in this business. So I did have a woman come here on occasion, but I don't think I've seen her since 2023. So it's a long time. And, open up your spectrum to accept practitioners in that can also help you in a beautiful exchange of gifts and energy and comfort, knowing that you have people in your flip folder of practitioners that can actually also help you. So that does not diminish your strength at all. So for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, the Six of Pentacles is asking you to review the flow of your resources, not only money, time, energy, attention, care, the love, and the support. Earth signs are often wonderful at showing up practically for others. This card is asking whether or not the relationships in your life are also allowing you to receive. So the deeper message today is this reading feels like somebody's standing at the crossroads carrying two very heavy bags. The Two of Swords is trying to decide which direction to take, the left or the right. Wait, go, think for another week. maybe ask 12 more people what you should do. Eventually, another question becomes more important. Why are you carrying both bags? The Six of Pentacles arrives in, and suddenly this reading isn't only about making a decision, it's about asking for support. The Two of Swords often appears when we believe we need more information before we can move forward. Sometimes that's true, but sometimes we already know. We're simply afraid of what choosing will require us to do, because choosing one direction may mean disappointing someone, changing relationship, setting a boundary, asking for help, and receiving instead of giving. And that beautifully brings in the energy of the Six of Pentacles, because this card is asking us to examine the energetic scales of our lives. Where are you always giving? What are you always receiving? Where is the reciprocity? And where have you convinced yourself that being a good person means continually pouring out of your own cup? The Two of Swords carries the Libra scales. The Six of Pentacles carries another set of scales, and the symbolism is hard to ignore. Balance is the heartbeat of this entire reading. But balance doesn't mean everything is always equal. Sometimes you'll need more. Sometimes someone you'll love will need more. Sometimes a healthy reciprocity happens across time. The deeper lesson is knowing when you're allowed to occupy both sides of this. You can give and receive and help and be helped, teach and learn, hold somebody, and sometimes even be held yourself. So perhaps the decision you've been struggling with is to become clearer when you need to stop asking, what should I do? And instead ask, where is the reciprocity? The answer may tell you far more than another hour of overthinking can possibly do. So release the need for the perfect answer and grow the relationships and opportunities and choices where the energy flows to you in both directions. You don't have to keep standing at the crossroads. Take off that blindfold. Notice where there is a balance and trust yourself enough to move forward. Where in life are you overthinking a decision because you're trying to keep everyone else happy? And when you look at the choices before you, which path offers you the healthiest balance of giving and receiving for yourself? So today, the word of the day is reciprocity. And where can you open yourself up to that? So I am finishing with the Healing Spirits Oracle card, which is this deck. And we will see what the beautiful message is today. And during this reading, apparently the sun has moved. So here I am in a sunbeam, which is nice because apparently we're supposed to have thunderstorms this afternoon. Promises. I love a good thunderstorm. We haven't had one this year. Every time I open my phone and see the little lightning symbol, I get excited and then nothing happens. So that's just the way the weather goes in Nova Scotia. So this is the perfect time. So this is Carpe Diem, seize the day. So this is fully taking off that blindfold in this card here. And stepping forward to your next step. Stop the overthinking, remove that blindfold, remove those tethers, and know that you don't need to have the perfect answers because the timing is exactly right now for you, for what you want to be doing. Set those stones down in the path that is going to lead you forward. I love this, the beautiful sprites and the electric light coming off of this. Absolutely beautiful card. So that is it from me today, and tomorrow, unbelievable, is Friday. Friday already. Where did this week go? So I will see you then, and have a good one. Bye.